Today is October the 7th, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show, 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am your host. This is the show where we share the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. Today we have a service hero that has been nominated. And yes, there's a real reason. There's a real reason. We're going to get into that. And it's timely. And it means a lot to me, truthfully. In visiting with Rhonda just now, I was like, okay, yes, we are in total alignment. And we are. And I know that by the time that we have shared Rhonda's inspiring story, you will be in alignment with us too. This is a woman that has dedicated her life with a mission because of life happening. Yes, she had a mission beforehand, yet many times, like life presents things, opportunities for us to grow and learn, and then challenges that become, well, let's make, I'm going to let you make the decision on this one because of the fact that I think we are going to make the case for the fact that the challenges that our service hero has challenged and was challenged by actually have become, if you will, a gift. And that's how oftentimes they can be. However, I'm not going to be the one to necessarily introduce our service hero right now. I actually have a clip from someone that's going to actually do that for us. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Carol Brown-Berzins, and I'm here because I have the privilege and the honor to welcome our guest, Rhonda M. Farrah. I met Rhonda over a month ago through a Facebook Live that she was doing. Rhonda is an incredible woman. She's also a 15-year cancer survivor. She's also a founder, an author, a transformational wellness educator, and a speaker and an entrepreneur. Rhonda puts a lot of time into her business. Rhonda's put 25 years into her business, and I know that Rhonda's story will inspire you. So come out and join us. Thanks for accepting my nomination, Rhonda. I love you.
How does that feel?
That feels really, really good. And I love you too, Carol. So thank you for your nomination. And Tamara, thank you for having me on your show. It's an honor and it's a pleasure to be here. And it's an honor to be able to share what I've been through in the hopes of helping others realize there are gifts in everything, including, in my case, breast cancer. So that's, I guess, what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about breast cancer and how, again, this is the Service Hero Show, and we're in the month of October, and it's very interesting. I woke up this morning myself to an invitation to talk about this very subject, and then you were already scheduled to come here. So I believe that there's no accident in any of this, that it is a matter of timing. So I really do want you guys to get your pens out, your notepads, your clipboards, your piece of paper. I want you to be thinking about, I'm going to give you a homework assignment, is what my dear, in fact, she's right here, my dear Helene, the first ambassador of the chat of our community, would say. She's like, I'm sure she's saying, oh, she's about to give homework. She's going to give homework. Well, no, it's a challenge, my dear. It's a challenge. And thank you for acknowledging us all. I appreciate it. And yes, here is Carol Brown-Berzins. She is actually one of our ambassadors, a senior ambassador for our organization, and also one of the producers that helps with this show and always checking to make sure that we are live on the E360 TV platform, of which I do want to encourage. And there's a reason for this, guys. there's a real reason. I want to encourage each one of you to get your cell phones out, go to your app store, load the E360 TV app, and do it now because there is a reason. We're going to talk about that. And so then we chat with each other. I love it. I love it. And then we have another one of our buddies, the ever so beautiful Sherry McQueen. I wanted to say the Queen, Sherry McQueen. There we go. I may just give you a new title, my dear. I love it. I love it. And, because we have fun. Yes, homework. I knew it. I knew it. Okay. However, this is a good one, Helene, and you're going to agree with, I'm sure, by the time we get into this, because, Rhonda, we both have something in common, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. And it's something that is ever so interesting that we have so much in common when it comes to the calendar and then hearing that we were facing an opportunity to find out what we're all made, what we're made of is what I like to look at it as is an opportunity to, heal through and go on to that next stage in life. But you got to get through this one. And we both, well, why don't you say, why don't you tell us about?
Yes. And first of all, we do have much more than breast cancer in common. Okay. We are thrivers. I consider myself a thriver, not merely a survivor. I survived breast cancer in order to thrive, not only through it, but to help others thrive in areas of their life where not so good stuff happens. And let's take a let's go let's take a walk down memory lane about 15 years ago, and it was during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is this month. I was diagnosed with breast cancer and was in total disbelief of that. For over 45 years, I've been an avid long distance runner. I still run. I even ran through my chemo treatments and otherwise. But my point of telling you this is that this was a totally unbelievable, and I just didn't want to hear it. The rest, I'm an athlete. This is wrong. It's all wrong. I've never taken any drugs in my life. And now you're telling me I have breast cancer. And the good news is it's treatable it can be treated chemically. Okay, is what my surgeon ended up saying. And I go, oh my goodness, this is like really happening. And what I did, and I've always subscribed, but even more so with other challenges in my life, and especially this breast cancer, to that authentic power within each one of us. And that I am dedicated to helping others awaken to, identify, and use their authentic power from within, because that's where it is. It's not in the sky. It could be. I happen to call it God. I've been raised Judeo-Christian. It's also the universe, it's source, it's spirit, it's the divine. But my understanding, the God of my understanding, is all of that and more. So here I am with this diagnosis, and from wow, this isn't happening, to okay, it can be treated chemically. Okay, that I guess that was good news. And I decided, no, I'm not going to do any of that. And I took the path of Eastern medicine for 2 weeks. And this is how the authentic power comes in. Okay. The authentic power showed up for me. And my oncologist at that time said, I don't know what you're doing, but you're shrinking your tumor. My daughter, who was standing there at the time, used some expletives that I won't use right now, but she really said, she looked at Dr. Rubin and she said, "You're buying this? You're buying this too?" And right there, it was like when I saw the look on my daughter's face, it was this hopeless look if I didn't do something right away. So, and I said, okay, we'll start chemo the next day, which I did, because those were my fears. And that's what I needed to get through. No, I didn't want to start chemo. No, I didn't want to go under the knife. No, I didn't want to go through radiation or any of that. My life was totally disrupted now with this bit of news. But it was okay, because like you, I don't believe in accident, happenstance, or coincidence. It happens for many reasons that I probably am not even aware of right now. If I had been told that I'm going to be on Service Hero show because of this is 15 years ago,
Mhm.
I would think, what are you talking about? What, why am I going through this? Okay, so I learned some lessons about me. I learned the lessons through chemo, being an avid runner. I was still running um, during chemo. I still did some meditation. I did subscribe to some Eastern practices as well, and got through with flying colors, the chemo. And through that, I knew that that was my authentic power from within, working to help others realize that this can be done. Whenever I was asked, well, what was the biopsy? What was happening? Well, not the best news, but not the worst news
Mhm.
either. And I maintained that attitude throughout. I went to my support group and became a spokesperson there. And when I would say, this is a blessing, this is a gift, let's look at it, people looked at me like I was very strange,
Mhm.
very,
Mhm.
very strange. And even through when I got to the point where they're going to clean out the margins, and I'm in the hospital, and I was having this little talk with the God of my understanding by the window. And I'm thinking, okay, so I trust you. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. The nurse, my attending nurse for the surgery, came and said, did you call me? Did you want something? I go, no, I was just having a little talk with God.
Mhm.
And she looked at me and she said, oh, look, your hair's starting to come back in. She goes, maybe. I go, yeah, it is. It's kind of like peach fuzz. She goes, maybe it'll come back like this. She pulled her skull cap back. I still have goosebumps thinking about it. Maybe it'll come back curly like mine. That was my sign. That was my message.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
not just going to make
Yeah.
it through this and survive, but I will thrive this, and I will be in service to others. Just like this is my nurse. That's no that's no accident, coincidence, or happenstance. And from I was good to go for the surgery.
Mhm.
Okay. So I did all that and went through all those wonderful things that Western medicine does with drains and everything else. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm good. And then I
Mhm.
started 40 bouts of radiation just to make sure. And that was my job, 5 days a week. Go
Right.
to radiation for, I don't know, 6, 7 minutes
Mhm.
every day. Okay.
Mhm.
So my point of going through that story, and that's the long story short of it, but because I learned, because I was open and receptive to was going on, not just physically, but what was going on with me emotionally and spiritually. Exactly what was going. This is where I needed to be. This was my purpose. I believe purpose is doing the best we can wherever we are with whomever we're with. That is our purpose. And then we get another purpose when things lighten up, so to speak.
I
So
love that. Yeah.
that's the long and short of why I can say I'm a thriver. I just,
Mhm.
oh, I survived it. Oh God, I survived. How are you today? Oh, surviving. It's nothing. It's nothing like that. It's to
Right. Right.
understand that each of us, it's not just me, it's each of us that has that power within us, whatever you
Right.
call it, to move forward in miraculous ways. I believe every day is a miracle. I believe every day is a new beginning. And I believe that some people think I'm nuts, and that's fine because they can think whatever they want. Okay.
That's right.
But for those that are listening now and understanding whether you're in treatment for cancer or whether you are going through whatever it is you're going through with this global thing that we're all going through, understand that there's not only hope, there is that power within each and every one of us. And it's our choice as
Mhm.
well. I mean, I didn't make this up. We've all heard stories about you could have the best treatment, the best surgeons, the best of everything. If your mindset and especially your heart set is not there, it begins right here. If you're in fear and doubt, you will produce certain thoughts, and those thoughts will produce your external world. So if you ever want to know what you're thinking, take a look at your external world.
Absolutely. In fact, I can't even say yes, yes, and yes, and yes. Okay, mic drop, to everything you just said, because of the fact that many of us, now that I have this global community that together we're building, it's not that I'm building it, it is all of us, it's ours, that we're building it together, and we are seeing this. And one of the reasons, though, I started this was because of a story that was about someone that did have that mindset that wasn't so positive, and how the long and short of it, there was an event. She was not the sickest one in the room, yet a half a year later, she was the one that was gone. And others that had been worse, they had a whole nother way of looking at it, another mindset. They were positive. They were combining themselves with others. So they were not isolated and alone. They were socialized, and they were thriving. And in the thing about it now is that science is starting to catch up with the fact that our hearts and our minds actually are connected to the body, and they actually do have something in the standard of care. And it was my doctors and nurses, my medical team, that got me involved in this, to be able to say, okay, we need to be able to have Rhonda and others have a platform to come out and talk about this, to then inspire. And it's the domino effect, because we can actually change the way that this is done. And it doesn't have to, I mean, yes, the doctors are in on it too, yet, really our hearts and our minds can have so much to do with our actual physical healing. I love the fact that you took the time to share with us your story, because it really gives us a base to then go in. I want to share here, as we are visiting, that you are always putting out there. Oh my goodness, I had so much. It was like playground in your inspirational posts and memes and everything that you create, because you're always thinking about how can someone take this, and possibly what will you do with it, because you encourage people to find their way with it. And you do make this statement here that you say yes to today, and I love that. That's why I started it with that one. And we put this on your promo too. I love this one. Love is not something given us, rather we live love to ourselves. Let's see, is that what it is? Yeah, we give. I have trifocals here, guys. When we let it in and open to embrace the very essence of life. And so thoughtful and blessed. Beautiful. Those were the two I picked for your promo. Now, this one's just fun. You have a sense of humor. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
You can see it. You can see it right here. So, and then you have a book. We're going to come back to that. This is one of the ones that I really connected to. Are you participating in life, or just making plans? This is what you do. You throw out a beautiful image and a thought-provoking question or thought. I'm gonna stop here, and I'm gonna take it down for a minute, and I'm gonna let you tell us, what was your thought in regards to that? What motivated you on that one?
Because I don't sit around waiting for life to happen. I'm not a reactor. I'm a responder. There's a difference. React is that knee jerk. React is oftentimes when we react, it's out of fear and doubt. When we respond, we sit back and we understand, this is my response. So am I participating in life? And I throw it out to everybody out there. Are you participating in life, or are you waiting for life to happen to you and then you can react? It's not how it works, okay? It's to create the life that we want, to live the life we desire, regardless of situation, circumstance, or happenstance. Regardless of all that, ask yourself, are you living the life you'd like to live? Or are you settling for less year after year after year and living life in default mode? It's no way to live. It's that, and our heart space and our mind space creates whether we are in dis-ease or well-being. Okay. Disease, dis-ease, or well-being. It creates our health, not just physically, definitely. I mean, you talked earlier about that. And you're right. Science is catching up with understanding that our well-being, our physical well-being, is based on our emotions and our thoughts. Okay? And that's what I do. I deal with the emotions and I deal with the thoughts. And I call it cognitive restructuring. It's not as painful as it sounds, but it's a change your thoughts, you will change your day, and then you will change your life, whether you're realizing it or not. And that's when you talked about a woman who wasn't as sick as everyone else was gone 6 months later. Okay, because that's the way it is if you choose that way for yourself. But take the gift, take the blessings, even though you may think there is no gift and there is no blessing, and whatever you happen to be going through now, there is. I've been interviewed many times now regarding this pandemic, and I maintain the gifts and the blessings, and I get people that definitely are very vocal. How can you ever say that? How can you ever say that there's a gift in death? There's a gift in sickness? I feel very badly and very sad for those people. But there are gifts and there are blessings if we choose to realize that, and if we choose to accept that there are gifts and there are blessings. And the only virus out there, yes, there is a virus, a physical virus. We're a virus to ourselves. If we are not thinking and heart space and thought space, if it's not, I don't feel positive all the time. But one thing I don't do, and I put it out to listeners, you can't be positive. Think positive. Oh, just think positive. Think positive. That's not what it's about. Feel those thoughts of whatever it is: sadness, despair, disappointment, anger. Feel them and say, hey, thanks for stopping by. That's it. So don't shove them, because you'll be on overload and everything will overflow at one point or another. But be aware that we have that authentic power within us, whether you call it whatever you call it. I call it my godling self, not merely my earthling self. That's the higher power within us. So we can move those mountains. Okay. So we can not just react to life, but create the life that we want, and don't settle for less, because we're pretty magnificent beings.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love it. In fact, in so many, I was thinking, as you were talking, I was thinking of so many different stories of people that that they did not necessarily embrace the concept in the beginning as that, oh yeah, I believe that this is really going to work for me. However, I'm willing to give it a try. As they started going through the, like, okay, every day showing up and starting to realize, hey, this is working. Oh, I'm liking this. Oh, now I get it. Okay, now I'm totally in. I'm all in. Now I'm going to teach others to be all in. And just having that, just that ever so little, in a way, open-mindedness right now. I want to encourage everyone that is possibly testing, like both of us did in the month of October, for breast cancer. Interesting, right? Getting diagnosed in breast cancer month. Yes. And if someone else is out there this year, and let me just encourage, a little window, a little door, have it. And anybody that knows someone, encourage it. If you're going through it now, a little one, because this, I will say this, then show up and open up to it. Open up. And then I love your exercises here, your thoughts, your memes, the challenges, everything. Get involved in the community and do this. Be working forward and be conscious of your words. Be conscious of your words and your thoughts, because the thing here that's important to understand is that we're talking life. We're talking life. And it's not a video game. You can't just like reboot it and like turn it off and start it again. This is life. And so I opt for the positive. I'd rather think the positive and like let's go that way, because what I am seeing now, and I'm sure you're seeing this too, because you've been on this road longer than I now, is that miracle after miracle after miracle. There are so many miracles, and we can expect them.
Yes. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. I am loving this. Now I'm going to bring another one of yours up. I love this one too. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, your emotional baggage weighing you down. Okay. So we all have baggage. Okay. Baggage is not necessarily a bad thing. I prefer to little bags like the Trader Joe's bags. Okay, so you got baggage, you're kind of balanced. But it's when we have the rolling suitcases and we just continue to carry them each and every day, each and every year. We can then they're rolling, they wheel. It's really interesting. And we pick certain things. Maybe I'll get rid of this, maybe I'll discard this. Yet we still have all those rolling suitcases and we just keep lugging them along with us. Emotional baggage is probably the most toxic thing that we will deal with. If you and or not deal with. And most people don't deal with emotional baggage. And most people, this is a time where we are being called to go within. This is a wake-up call. What's happening globally is there is
She'll be back. She'll be back.
Are we doing?
Okay, we lost you for a moment. So I need you to rewind just a moment ago. Okay. And so this is a time to be going within is the last we heard.
Yes, to go within. And many people have never been to that place because we were so distracted. We could go and do anything we wanted. And now we can't do all those things. We don't have distraction. We are called to wake up, to go within. Whatever that means is different for everyone. Okay. I happen to be blessed. I've had a spiritual practice for years that I just go within. Okay. It's understanding, for me, it's understanding who I am from within. And it's really revealing. Even though I've had this spiritual practice for years and years and years, I'm being called to go within even more. Okay. With respect to what's happening in this world. So I get it. Who wants to go within? Let's just think about who we can blame, why the world is like this. There's no vaccine. Oh, I got to wear a mask. I got to do this. I got to do. Okay. Instead of thinking about what we cannot do, think about what we can do. That's why I call this time anything debilitating. There are gifts and there are blessings. Think about the blessing is to think about what you can do versus what you cannot do, what you have versus what you do not have. Don't go to where you don't. Okay, so have you done anything right? Have this little talk with yourself. What can I do? What can I do? Instead of, oh, I can't do this anymore. No, what? Guess what? There is no normal. There is no new normal. It's go within and see. This is here to stay, this going within. We took us how many thousands of years to get to where we are now that we have a global pandemic. It's a wake-up call.
That's right. Okay. That's right. Well, I totally agree with you on that one. Absolutely. And the lessons of going within, that that we can be learning in the collective consciousness of all of us going within, and then think about where that will take us together, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because there's that power in that collective consciousness. You hit the nail on the head. That there is where the power is. And if everyone is working within and being the best that they can be, whatever that means, it means something different to everyone. When we're the best, you put that together and it makes for even more magnificence than we can do just on our own. We're not alone in this. We're never alone.
No, unless we choose to be.
Correct.
I mean, that's a choice. That is a complete choice. Even if you're alone in a room, you don't have to be alone unless you choose to cut yourself off to then be alone. And that is an absolute choice. And that's not an easy thing to do, truthfully. However, it can be done if you really want to. That's at least the way I see it. And I'd love to, let's see, we have that one. We've done that one. So let's keep going. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. And that's what we're talking about right now. I love it.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Feed your faith, and doubt will starve the death to death. What say you? To death. I love that. What say you? You do that a lot. Okay, I kept that. Now we're going to go into the what say you. You encourage thought. You encourage it. I love this one. Feed your faith and the fear. Because you hear a lot of stuff about fear, but I haven't really heard that before. I love it. I love it. So,
you're right. And I do say, what say you? Because what you say, you're enough. You're enough. You are important. What you say and what you do matters. And when we realize that about ourselves, wow, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. We will start feeling those joy-filled thoughts right here. The joy, you hit the nail on the head before too, vibrating. I'm in the transformation business. So how are we vibrating? What frequency are we on? Is the radio turned to darkness, to fear and doubt, or is the radio turned to joy? That heart space creates the mind space, the thoughts, and that creates our external world.
Absolutely. Okay, so with all of this, you are a writer also, and I wanted, because we saw the book. However, before we go into that, I have something else I want to share. So let's share this and then we'll go into it.
Okay.
I love that. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That book, America's Leading Ladies, it just doesn't include me. I'm very honored and humbled to have been selected to be in that book with 50 people, and honored and humbled I am to be with Oprah Winfrey and Melinda Gates in that book, and talking about, in that book I talk about whether do you have an Olympic mindset and what it takes for as far as an Olympic mindset. So to be your highest and best self is what I, as a contributing author, did in that book. I have another book, America's Star Entrepreneurs, and my first book is a mini book. You had it up there before, The Journey. And that book is available digitally. and it's a quick read. It's 14 or 15 pages, and it'll take you on your journey. And I ask you, don't be afraid. I think it says that right there. Yeah, embark on your journey. Don't be afraid, because we are on a journey, and it can be the best of times or the worst of times. We decide there.
That's right.
So, for a quick read, I definitely recommend The Journey. It's a digital book. You can download it easily. And to understand that whatever it is that we are going through, whether it's illness, whether it's COVID, whether it's relationship breakups, whether it's what do I do now? What is my purpose in all of this? That there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not a train. There is light if you choose to understand it is not a train. So that's a little bit about my journey, and I again, I'm so happy to share my journey, and I'm so happy to have your listeners um, share their energy. I can feel the energy coming through right now, and I'm a person that had to get used to. When Carol found me, I was actually in a media mastery class to get comfortable on camera. I'm used to speaking on
Uh-huh.
live
On
audience.
stage.
So,
Right.
yeah, so
It's
this is
different. It's
it's
different. Yeah.
very different, very
Uh-huh.
different. So, and that I had to get out of my comfort zone. And my life has begun in new directions and new paths, and a new journey is forming right now. So I encourage you, that is really where life begins. Get
Mhm.
out of your comfort zone, even a little, and understand that you are enough, you are important, and what you say and what you do matters. So believe
Yeah.
it and you'll receive it.
Absolutely. And Carol is asking, where can we find that book? And I want, okay, I want to say something before you give the answer, because I love your URL. Oh, I mean, I'm singing in my mind every time I look at it. I'm thinking, Rhonda. I'm not a
Yeah,
singer
yeah.
either, and people know that. And yet, I want to go there in my brain, because I'm from Southern California, guys, and so are you from that beachy area. How fun. That is fun. That is fun. So, okay, now you can give the answer, and I'll
Well,
find
go, if you like that URL, go to www.helpmerhonda.now. You must put the now, helpmerhondanow.com, and you'll see
it.
what's available on my site. All those books are available digitally. America's Leading Ladies is also available in hard copy. I'm looking at one right now. Um, but understand that peruse what's on there. You'll also see my blog is being updated, lots of things. So if you like those inspirations, thought for today, thought for life, read. There's a lot to read there. There's a lot of free stuff. Take
Yeah.
advantage of it, you know. And it's a pleasure, and I'm honored again to be here, and I'm honored to be with like-minded, like-hearted people. I can feel this energy so tremendously, and it's a good energy because um, I like being in service. I'm blessed by blessing others, but energy is really, really important to me. If I'm not taking in good energy, those batteries aren't getting charged. And I needed this as much as you wanted me to be here. I needed to be here for me as well. So take some for yourself too. Practice that self-care, practice that self-love, and practice blessing yourself and understanding that you are a gift in many, many ways. And that's very important. That's really important to your health and to your well-being, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Absolutely. I'm going to share. I do this every once in a while because we have something to share in regards to the community, that many of them that you're feeling right now that are here with us, are many of them are from our community, and we have a short clip that was created by one of our board members. Just so happens we're lucky enough to have an Emmy award-winning director, videographer, producer kind of person that is also a buddy. And he actually produced this little clip to explain what it is that we're doing. And many of those that are here, and there'll be a few words in there. See if you can pick them out. Remember I said have your clipboard? Okay, so let's do that. And then we're going to come back because I want to address one more thing before we go. Oh, I love it.
I got my clipboard.
Okay, we've got it going on. There we go.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
So
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Healing through connections.
thank you. Yes, healing through connections. And that's my doctor, the one that interviewed there. And he was the one that convinced my original buddy and I, that's why I am a co-founder, to do something, because the medical community understands, they do, many that are awakened, that there is the need for us to be able to connect ourselves with, like you said, within, and our hearts and our minds, and be there with others. Yet because of our privacy laws in many of the countries throughout the world, it precludes us from being able to really have the connections that possibly we could have had before, but science hadn't caught up in some of the other categories. Now we have so many, we have really, when you were talking about the best of times and the worst of times, I actually think in so many ways, we are in the best of times. It's a matter of which way we want to look at it. And that's where, and I had you guys get this out because I was wondering if the words in there, because there are, we say it all the time. And I'll start it off with the first one, and that is humor, because we need to be laughing. It helps us, right? Humor. Then we have hope. Then we have heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love. And that's what we say all the time with everybody. Those words right there. And we're going on a tour of love, and we're going to be talking about that here soon. But however, what I really wanted to spend some time here too, and that is, this is the month of October. And one of the things that I am dedicated to, and there's a good reason why, is that early detection goes a long way, doesn't it?
Yes.
I'd like to hear what you have to say about that, because let me just say, I'm the poster child of what not to do. I am the lucky one because of the fact that I had been told I should be going and getting testing, and I had other things going on in my life. I'm like, I'm good. And when I finally went, it was like, you need to come back. And I'm like, okay. I'll put my big girl pants on and I'll take my dish of whatever it is because it's my own deal, and like, okay, I'll show up, and whatever it is whatever it is. And I was one of the lucky ones. However, we have one of the things that when best of times and the worst of times, we have a lot of the equipment now to be able to find out what we're dealing with, and then we can make choices from there, right?
I totally agree with you. Early detection. Know your body. Okay, yes, within, but know your body on the outside as well. And if we are, again, that's the self-care, which will produce early detection. If you're not feeling, listen to your body. Do you need to take a day? What's the body saying one way or another? And is it asking you to be still? We're a lot of us cannot be still. Okay, I can be still for a certain amount of time. All right. However, to be still, the body wants to speak, and when you are called to be still, or you're feeling tired, or you're just not feeling yourself, that's your body speaking to you. Okay, you may not necessarily need to go to a doctor, but you need to listen. Again, listen to the little voice within. We call it the subconscious mind. It's 95% of what's going on with us. The 5%, yeah, that's like a small percentage to be totally conscious of. Start listening, and you will hear what the subconscious is saying for early detection. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. When it really caught my attention, okay? And I, at the time, was also watching Hallmark, and Breast Cancer Awareness Month was dedicated to every woman with breast cancer, all right? All those Hallmark movies. It caught my attention, all right? And I'm very happy that I was listening as well. Very happy that I was listening. Again, it wasn't the best news and it wasn't the worst news, but I listened, and I've never looked back. There wasn't a day that I didn't laugh, and there wasn't a day that I didn't cry, and those are all signs of growth. Laughter is the best medicine, yes. So I totally agree with the humor, and understand that we are not alone. We got to be a buddy to yourself, okay? Exactly. Be a buddy to yourself. Respect yourself. Care for yourself. That's the only way you can be a buddy to others. Okay. Exactly. That is the only way you can be a buddy, that you can care, that you can love others. Respect others. Be that change, as Gandhi would say. When I do my intentions every day, what do I desire? Today, I want to be everything that I desire. I want to be joy-filled. I want to be bold and courageous. I want to be loved and kind. So be love and be kindness, and watch and see what happens. You will be living the life that you want.
Exactly. I love it. Keep going. I'm so sorry.
No. There's no need to apologize. And that's the biggest thing here when you talk about buddies for life. Be your buddy. Be your buddy first and foremost, because it's your life. Okay? Exactly. It's your life. If you're not a buddy to yourself, don't expect others to be your buddy. Don't. If you don't respect yourself, if you don't listen to yourself, don't expect to be listened to or respected or loved. That's just how it works. Be that which you desire. Be what you desire. And watch your life change.
You are just so in alignment so much, because this is all about healing through connections with ourselves, healing through connections with buddies, and healing through connections within community. It is threefold. And we talk about that in Celebration Journal right here. And so yes, absolutely. And having plenty of gratitude. And we have chocolate days too. So, we have fun around our place. Yeah. Wink, wink. So, as we start to bring this together, I have to say that this time with you has absolutely been inspiring. Now you spend time with you're welcome with others. You welcome opportunities to visit with people that tell us about that.
I do. People comment to me, "Oh God, you know everyone in the neighborhood or the park that I run in," and I go, "Well, you never know when I will be called to run for mayor," and I'm joking. Okay, I'm joking, but simple acts of kindness or to smile.
Mhm.
People that I see on the running route, whether I see them all the time or just people passing me, it's cost nothing to say hi, to give a smile, because you know what? That's better than chocolate in some cases. That's better than chocolate because when it's been my experience that when someone is not kind or when someone is looking down and they don't want to, we don't know what they're going through. We don't. That's what it is. So don't judge, don't criticize, just observe. This person may be going through something. So just, and if they don't look at me or I don't have a chance to smile, I just say, bless you, and move along. Because that is how we make it or break it when it comes to others. That is how we make it or break it when it comes to ourselves. Are we are we downtrodden and thinking about what we don't have? Are we living from lack or scarcity? Or are we counting our blessings? Count the blessings. Be in gratitude. Okay, be grateful because that's what happens for the donuts too. I just saw the donuts. Be grateful and watch and see how your blessings multiply. How
I
every
have,
day it's
I'm so
miracle
sorry.
after miracle. No, you don't be
I,
sorry.
I, I'm just laughing here because I have to explain the whole chocolate day thing. It's not really about
Uh,
chocolate. It's a tongue-in-cheek thing about that. Every once in a while, what I used to call with my kids, I was a single mom much of their time growing up, and so we didn't feel sorry for ourselves, and we were going through a few things, and so
mm-hmm,
it's like, okay, we don't do that. We don't play those cards. We don't do that. Every once in a while, we got a chocolate day, and that's when we could stay in our jammies. We didn't have to make our bed. We got to do that
mm-hmm,
kind of thing. But then the next day we had to show back up to life, make your bed and open up those curtains and,
right.
show up ready for the day. And so every once in a while we got a chocolate day. So I told my original buddy about this and she's like, oh, I want chocolate days. We're doing chocolate days. And so we only could call a chocolate day every once in a while. And it wasn't to eat chocolate. It was just like, okay, we could have a pity party every once in a while, only for one
Yeah,
day. And then it was like,
yeah,
okay, done, done. We had to call each other on it. And then
yeah.
we can go on, right? And so it's being human is
It
basically what
is.
it is. And so but the community's playing with us right now about the donuts and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I gotta explain this and go on the record, guys, because we are a community that deals with some stuff that they're like, sugar, really?
Right.
Okay,
But
okay.
you make an important point too about buddies because I also call a buddy an accountability partner. Okay.
Yes.
So if we are being called, we want to live the life that we want to live. We want to live the life that we desire. Okay. Well, it's not just waiting for the proverbial lightning bolt to come and hit us in the proverbial rear end. It's taking inspired action and it's being accountable in one way, shape, or form. So life can either happen to you or for you. Okay.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, the good and the not so good, life happens for us. And we call, people won't like this, we call everything forward, the good and the not so good. We call it all forward to learn some lessons, and then we get to decide what to do about it. We've all
Right.
been through there, been that economic, financial crap, illness, broken relationships, divorce, all of it. Okay.
Mhm.
We've all been through it in one way, shape, or form. We called it forward.
Yeah.
People don't like that when I say that. We called it forward
Mhm.
and we can bounce. I don't believe in bouncing back. I believe in bouncing forward.
That's right.
The
Yep.
big difference. I don't want to be back where I was. I want to go forward and move forward. and be in that type of alignment, be vibrating on a high level. Because when you're vibrating on a high level, when you're not in doom and gloom, when you're in love and faith, you will attract more love and more goodies, chocolate and otherwise, to you. Okay. And there's, chocolate is in many, many forms and shapes. And we all have what's your chocolate of choice?
I love it.
What's your chocolate of choice?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Everything you just said, I just can't even say thank you enough for being here, because you just wrapped it all up into a nice little bow. And I agree with you in regards, and it's taken me a few years, wink, wink, to learn these lessons. However, the good news is that we get to show up every day, and each day we can learn those lessons. And that's what I love about your thought-provoking memes, because what say you? What do you think? What, and really, I mean, I literally last night I went through so many of them, and I actually was having a lot of fun. Like, what do I think about this? Oh, and what about this one? And I kind of went down like a little rabbit hole, a good place, like, okay. And then it brought this thought up and that thought up. And I want to thank you for that, because I know I could tell, I could feel it. You put energy and thought into the image, the imagery, the movement, the light, the words, the love, all of it. You can feel it. It's all there. And so when you go to look at it, there's more than just, oh, it's pretty and it's got words on it. Oh, there's so much more. I want to say thank you for that.
My pleasure.
I had such an amazing journey with that, with those, what a gift. What a gift you give. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My pleasure again.
Well, as we are ready to close, is there anything, like a little nugget, you'd like to leave us with?
I would. Realize how magnificent you are. You with a capital Y-O-U. We are magnificent beings, each in our own right. We are enough. We are important. What we say and what we do matters. Never let anyone take that from you. It's not worth it. And in addition to that, especially in these times, go within, count what you have. Don't think about what you don't have. You can think about it, but count your blessings, because there are blessings. Even in this challenging, this unprecedented time, there are blessings. Start counting them and see how much better you feel, physically, emotionally, as well as spiritually. Count your blessings and have a magnificent and a healthy day every day.
I love that. Count your many blessings, name them one by one. All right. Well, we have definitely made the case, without a doubt, that you are a service hero. And yes, Carol Brown-Berzins, I agree with you. Thank you for nominating Rhonda. And thank you, Rhonda, for accepting the nomination and now being a service hero. I appreciate you. All right. And everybody, it's funny, Rhonda must have been tied into it, because someone that has served our community was asked to run for mayor somewhere. We're going to talk to that person on Friday. Show up and you'll find out more. See you then. Bye.